Introducing EmbroideLee, where ruler work meets embroidery. Our lookbook is an inspiration guide showing you all of the embroidery designs that we have created that are inspired by Westerly Design quilting templates. That's right, all of these designs can be created with rulers as well. If you are a ruler quilter at heart, then you'll be inspired by all the possibilities that you can create with the template sets highlighted in each lookbook. If you're new to ruler work, but you still kind of love embroidery, then you're going to get excited about all the possibilities of combining Westerly Design quilting rulers with your favorite embroidery designs. You will find how easy it is to finish your embroidery blocks with rulers. If you're a die-hard embroiderer, then we're excited to introduce to you a collection that is designed to finish your quilting projects and much more. But wait, that's not all. If you're a machine long armor, then you'll find that these designs are programmed for your machines. Each lookbook contains collections inspired by a single template set. We're getting started with our starter sampler set, which is our most popular template set we have. And it's inspired by the amazing Quilt As You Go class series that Leonie West created to teach people how to ruler quilt. Each collection is sorted by block designs, border designs, and fill designs. The designs in this collection include fill designs that are inspired by our template technique in ruler work, which is reverse applique with templates. The single stitch designs have minimal thread breaks, which are ideal for finishing your projects. We also include a bean stitch design, which goes over the design multiple times to ensure a secure design so you can do your reverse applique cutaway after you embroider. Designs are noted with the true size with a goal of understanding that all these designs are inspired by Westerly Design rulers, highlighting the collections that can be replicated with rulers with no size adjustment. All of our designs were created to fit in a maximum of an 8-inch hoop. Consider the smaller corner motifs to finish around your embroidery designs, or the fill designs to embellish your clothes, bags, and more. And all of these block designs are ideal to quickly finish a project with our popular designs for quilting. We're excited to have you experience EmbroideLee, where ruler work meets embroidery. Hi everyone, it's Stacy with So Steady, and we're so excited to introduce you to Carrie. Carrie Philpott here today. She is going to be sharing with you a gorgeous serger pillow project that she is going to finish with our new Circle EmbroideLee collection. So that's just a fun little commercial we have on EmbroideLee. We've definitely got some updates since we rolled out EmbroideLee about a year ago. We're doing much bigger hoop sizes these days, and we've got actually the Circle collection has up to 5 different sizes available in the hoop. Now, just wanted to give you a heads up, Carrie. We can't see you on the screen right now, so I'm going to ask you to maybe go out, and come back in, and I will share a little bit more about what we're doing this week, what's to come, and then hopefully we'll be ready to have you go live. Um, so we're so excited about another amazing education week, everyone. We have got the a class kicking off today with Carrie sharing her Serger Pillow project, and then tomorrow Kate is actually going to be live with you, and she is going to be sharing with you a opportunity for an upcoming Zoom series. She'll be taking you through her home and hearth log cabin class opportunity. And so she'll be live with you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, sharing that with you. And then on Thursday, we actually have Melissa live with you, and she'll be sharing a couple of different ruler quilting designs on our practice panels. So you're going to be able to learn all about that. And then Kathy, the amazing Kathy. Don't we love Kathy, everyone? She is going to be, she had an awesome live again yesterday where she was showing everyone how to turn our edge to edge embroidery designs into ruler work designs, guys. So if you're looking for amazing inspiration for edge to edge quilting with rulers, Kathy is taking you through it every Monday at 4 p.m. And then today she did her live. Actually, I think her live is at 4 o'clock today. And tomorrow it's at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And she's got more amazing education coming your way. So, would love to have you participate in that. And now Carrie is back. Carrie, thank you for joining us today. I will let you take it away and you can tell them all about the project that you're going to be doing for them today.
Here, I'm Carrie Philpott, and being here with Westerly and EmbroideledLee is absolutely one of the greatest joys I have ever discovered in my life. I have been sewing for a number of decades. We don't like to say how many necessarily anymore. But one of the joys that I've discovered is using my serger. Now, how many of you have a serger at home? And I know they make a lot of dust and a lot of lint, but how many of yours are just sitting there collecting dust because you don't necessarily know what to do with them, especially since you started quilting? Well, I wanted to introduce you to the idea that if you are doing a rail fence, or if you are doing a 9-patch, a 4-patch, or our wonderful log cabin that we have been featuring this quarter of 2025, your serger is the perfect machine for your being able to do this. Now, of course, making a quilt top on the serger is not necessarily something that you want to enter into a quilt show. But not every quilt that you make is something that you're going to want to have as an heirloom. I mean, personally, I started making quilts on sergers for all my nieces and nephews as their high school graduation quilts, because I knew that when they went off to college, they were going to be dragging those quilts up and down the hallways in their dorms or in their apartments, and they were going to be throwing them into coin wash washing machines, and they were not going to necessarily be handling them the way we would like to think that our quilts that we put all our love and attention into were going to be handled. So I also discovered that I could make one of these quilts in a morning. Sometimes time is of the essence in these projects too, because with a serger, being that they go much faster than a sewing machine, you're sewing at twice the speed. So you can get a project done so much faster. Are you ready to give it a try? Well, I'm going to show you how we can do a log cabin pillow today. And then I'm going to show you some that I've already made. And then we're going to go over to my embroidery machine and we're going to show you one of the EmbroideledLee embroidery collections that is perfect for finishing your quilt top on your serger pillow. So I'm going to adjust the camera now so that you can see my serger. And yes, it may look a little different than the ones that you have because it is a 5-thread serger, but that doesn't mean that it's any different than the one that you might have at home, which is a 4-thread serger, because that's how you want to set it up, is with a right and a left needle and with an upper and a lower thread. Now, you may have knobs instead of a touch screen, which is all right. But the first thing you want to do is adjust the stitch length, because on a serger quilt, just like you are going to do on a regular quilt, you're going to change your stitch length to 2.0. Now, why do you change your stitch length to 2.0 instead of having it at 2.5? You know what? It's one of those math questions, isn't it? Because 2.5 is 10 stitches to the inch, whether it's on your serger or whether it's on your sewing machine. When you change it to 2.0, you're changing your stitch length to 12 stitches to the inch. When it's 12 stitches to the inch, that means that it is 3 stitches to the 1/4 inch. That makes it much easier to know if your 1/4 inch is accurate. So I have already changed mine to 2.0 here on the screen. I've got myself set at maximum speed because sometimes it's really fun just to be a speed demon on your serger. Now, the other thing you want to do though is make sure that you're doing a 1/4 inch seam. And this is where, of course, one of our little seam gauges that we have comes in super handy because yes, we use these with our rulers all the time. But this is a way we can also check to make sure that we have our 1/4 inch as where we have set our foot. Now I'm going to lower the foot and I am going to look at where I have my blade, and I am going to look by measuring from the 1/4 inch, there it is, 1/4 inch, from the blade to the left needle. And I can see that I have my blade now at a 1/4 inch. If it was a little too close or a little too far, then I would need to adjust the position of my blade so that when I actually put my strips of fabric through, it's going to be forming an exact 1/4 inch seam. So I'm going to take what's going to be my center strip and I'm going to set it up to do my first strip. And I love the fact that you can actually just lift the front of your serger foot just like that. You can do that on any serger, by the way. And just cut a minimal amount of fabric off because sergers do like to cut a little bit of fabric off. Just a little bit because you want that 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then just sit back and sew the 2 strips together. Now, I have chosen to make my strips 2.5 inches wide because I'm using jelly rolls for doing this. You can make your strips whatever width you want to, but it's kind of fun sometimes just to get a jelly roll to make a log cabin. So I'm just going to sew part of this strip so that we can make a little headway on this. And notice I'm using my side cutter to cut the threads. It's a good habit to get into rather than bringing your thread around and using your blade to cut the thread. Because if you do that, it's real easy to pull on that and thus make your issues coming together with throwing things out of a line on your serger. Now I am going to take my tool and I am now going to double check, and you can see that's a 1/4 inch seam, isn't it? Magic. And having this tool that comes from Westerly is perfect for our double checking and making sure that we've got everything going on. So now we can open this up, and I would recommend at this point that you think about going and pressing. But with a serger quilt, I'm going to show you, you don't have to press every single one of these seams. Now I'm going to go ahead and I've done a little pre-work on this, and I'm going to cut so that I now have my center block and my first block already cut and trimmed to be 2.5 inch blocks. Then I'm going to take what would be my second strip of fabric and I'm going to lay it down, but I'm going to put it so that I'm going to have my larger strip on top because I want to make sure that my center block, the seam is pointing out. Serge along, cut the threads, And voila, here I have our next piece. So being that I've already done a little pre-work, I'm now ready to go and sew on my next strip. So I'm going to want to have our block become one that looks like this. So I'm going to take our next fabric, and I love these bright little Easter colors. They're so fun and they're so bright and they're so happy, and they make life so much fun to work with spring colors because here in Michigan, it's snowing right now and it's only about 0 degrees outside. So it's fun to be able to say, I'm doing this all for the joy of being able to have a springy look. Right now you can see very easily that we have 1, 2, 3 blocks, and that is the key that we are going to do in doing the log cabin. And I'm just going to cut this fabric like that. Did I cut it straight? Nope, don't have to. So now I'm going to take my next piece of the pink fabric that I'm going to use, and I'm going to line up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to serge. And you see, I have a little bit of an overlap right here. Whoops, one of my threads is getting a little low. And that's something to bear in mind. Sergers do use lots of thread, and they do like good thread because the serger is going faster than your regular sewing machine. They want you to use a thread that is a higher quality, that doesn't have a whole lot of lumps and bumps in it. So it's something for you to bear in mind when you are looking at thread that you are going to be wanting to have in your serger. So this is what the next block is going to look like. Now we're going to take our next piece of fabric and we're going to go to our 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go and we're going to sew this strip on. See how fast it's all coming together? It's almost magical, isn't it? I like the fact that we are getting a very, very strong and secure seam as well. So when I talk about those kids who might be dragging this quilt up and down the hallway in those storms, or a baby quilt that you might want to be making, or if you're doing charity quilts for people who might be less fortunate and may not have access to some of the finer resources that some of us have for washing clothes and taking care of our bedding and blankets. So going ahead, and you see how it's all coming together, and I'm not even having to press in between, am I? And I love the fact that here we have our next set of these blocks all coming together so quick, so easy, just like that. Now, our next one, we're going to go back and use our pink. And I seem to have put that pink fabric over here. So let me just grab that because as you can see, what I have done beforehand is I have laid out all of my fabrics so that they are all nice and handy and ready for me just to be able to say, oops, I forgot to pick one up. So now I have it right in my hands. So let's go back to the serger now. And get so the camera's looking right where it's supposed to be looking. Let's get it. There we go. Now we've got it. And we're going to go to 1, 2, 3 section. And with that blade on the serger, it's doing all of that trimming work so nicely, isn't it? It's making it easy, it's making it fast, it's making it fun to get on with doing this. And we open that section up and we go 1, 2, 3. So we're ready to do this next line. And right. And then we go on to our next area, which is going to be a darker green, because you can see we've gone from the dark center to light tones to medium tones. And now we're going to move into complementary darker tones. And that is a traditional way of doing a log cabin. Tradition is starting with a red block in the center, which is to represent the fire burning in the center of the log cabin home. And having a light colored fabric going in the one direction, which is the light that radiates from the fire, and darker fabrics radiating from behind the fire, which is to show the darker part of the cabin that is behind the fire. So that's a little bit of history behind the lore of a log cabin. And once again, you can see I have not even thought about pressing. Now, of course, when I get to the final stages of doing all of this, I would most definitely want to do a good press on all of these blocks, because when you come to putting it together, you are going to want to match your seams. And if you have been somewhat conscious of keeping yourself right on that edge and just cutting off that little bit of fabric, you will have your 1/4 inch seams so that your points will all come together and line up. And we've got one more strip to do, and we will have completed the block that we will need to do to make this log cabin quilt. Pretty slick, huh? I have to say, I think it's very easy, very fun. And it's something that you can get done.
Hey, Carrie, I was going to let you know that there was a comment that it is out of focus, and I think that's just the internet not being very nice today. which you and I kind of talked about. So I thought we might share that we have discussed you actually maybe shooting a video of this separate that we can post to later. So yeah, just so they can see it a little bit clearly. You can keep going. I don't want you to stop, but that might be something that can be helpful for the future too. So we can get them a good clean video.
Can appreciate that because, when it is snowing outside, we do have some internet issues that are going
Yeah.
on, and they're
Yeah. Yes, it is snowing. Thank you, Carrie.
project actually looks like. So I'm going to walk over here and show you the completed pillow with the 4 blocks all put together.
Yeah,
And then
that's so great.
some green velvet on the back. And I even inserted the zipper with my serger. I didn't
Oh,
know if
wow.
we'd have time to show you how to do something like that. And since I was originally going to do this class before Valentine's Day, I selected one of our Westerly embroidery designs that have hearts in it. And bring that up close so that you can
Oh,
see.
fun. I love it. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And the original pillow that I did is one that I did also with a jelly roll with one of our other circle designs. But this is one that I had a lot of fun doing. I got to get this in really close so you can see because with this circle design, I did this with a twin needle. Now, yes, I know how much fun it is to embroider, but how many of you have actually done any embroidery with a twin needle? And I'm going to be doing more and more of our EmbroiderLee collections with twin needles just to see how much fun you can have by doing something like this, by adding 2 different colors of threads that are stitching side by side.
Wow, that's really, really cool, Carrie.
Fabrics that I found to do with this because so many people have talked about gradient fabrics and how they just don't quite know what to do with them. They think they're really fun and they think they're really lively, but they say, I just don't know what to do with them. Well, if you cut them into certain patterns and designs, here's a couple that I'm working on right now that I'm going to be making into a blanket quilt rather than this one where I took 2 of the gradients to make a pillow. This one is going to be an Easter blanket that I'm going to be making. And I'm going to probably be doing something special with this one for second quarter that we're going to be showing down the road.
Ooh, I love it.
Different. But let's go over now to my embroidery machine so that I can show you how much fun it is when we start embroidering with our EmbroiderLee collection. So,
And I will post a link to the newest collection, which is the Circle collection, and that's what you were showing off
and
earlier. We do have a special opportunity for everyone. If you love these designs and you want to be able to kind of get your own copy of the lookbook, you can get a digital download lookbook at no cost. So I will go ahead and post a link to that.
all these designs, I went, oh, the creativity that this is going to give me to be able to do fun things on all different kinds of quilting projects not just on quilts, but also on garments and crafts and all different kinds of things that are going to be inspiring me in the future. I did a very cute little vest that I've done. Oh, see if we can show off the inside on this. This is one where I took one of our designs, and it's one that is actually a circle design that's edge to edge. And it also comes on our USB, whoops, that you can get, that has all of the circle designs on it, and they come multi-formatted. So, one of the beautiful things here at So Steady is we love all of you. Doesn't matter what machine brand you have, or whether you have a machine that does a 4x4 hoop, or whether you have the latest machine that has just come out on the market. We love all of you, and we want all of you to be able to enjoy being able to have access and be able to work with our designs. So being able to have the EmbroideLee collection on a USB stick in all these formats, including long arm design formats, so that you can use these with your long arm machines as well. You can be able to combine them with the rulers that coordinate with the collections. So you can actually put the two together and have one world or the other world. Or what I'm really enjoying is having the best of both worlds. So now what I have done on my machine, and let's get up closer so you can see a little bit better of what's going on. I have already, oh, I may just have to get a little bit closer here onto my screen. Where I touch the screen, I have already loaded in all of the circle designs. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I am going to be scrolling through. And you can see that some of these repeating themselves. That's because they're formatted in both 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12-inch designs, all ready for you to be able to select. And depending upon the machine that you have, you can resize and recalculate the stitches so that they'll perfectly fit into the blocks or the strips that you are using in your quilt. So if you have, say, a 3 3/4 inch strip, you can still use some of our designs. Now, I happen to be using the 8-inch designs. So I have brought it up here on the screen, and I have already completed one of our pillow tops. So I'm all ready to get this set up to go ahead and embroider on here. So I'm going to go ahead and set my machine so that it's ready to stitch out. I'm going to go ahead and attach my hoop. Now, I don't have this quite placed exactly right where I want it because I want it to be right in the center. So my machine does have the ability for me. Okay, first of all, it's telling me I have the wrong hoop attached. So I have to go back and put on the right hoop. So these machines are just way too smart sometimes. So I have to go back and tell it that I am using the 260 by 200 hoop. Now it will be much happier. But it's still not centering right where I want it to start. So I'm going to go ahead oh, it's still not happy. It's saying that this is the 360 by 200 hoop. So we will try again. And we'll go to the hoop. We will go to the 360 by 200 hoop. There we go. Now it's going to be much happier. You know, sometimes it's third time's it's a charm. All right, so now we're going to get it so that it's centered right where we want it. And that looks like it's in pretty good centering position. Oh. And you know, if I were taking time to actually measure all of this out, I could do that and make a mark on there if I wanted to. But I'm just going to be eyeballing it for you guys today. Now I'm going to bring up my thread because it's always good to start by bringing up your thread. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the design stitch out. And I'm going to look at this on my screen. And it's showing me that it's 1,792 stitches in this design. And in that design, it takes 4 minutes to sew this design out. 4 minutes. Now, to do the design on this pillow top, I will sew it out 5 times. So if we take 4 minutes times 5, that means that the total embroidery time for doing this pillow top is 20 minutes. So even if you add in all of the rehooping, I would be able to have it done within an hour. And I think it is fabulous when you think that you can actually start a project, say at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can have it all complete by 3:30 in the afternoon. How's that? And that's something that you can do with the serger and with embroidery in designs. And I find that to be a wonderful way of getting something done effectively, and having a lot of fun doing it and being creative, and then being able to move on to your next project. And see how beautiful it is stitching out?
Hey, Carrie, and I think I do have a good picture of this project too that I can show on the screen. So I'm happy to pull that up here in a minute. I did want to share with everyone, we do have the opportunity for you to get a free digital download lookbook. And so I was going to show you, I posted a link to that. And I was going to show you how to go about that. You're just going to go over to the select option on the link that I provided, and then you choose digital download lookbook. And then you'll just go in and add to cart, and we can go check out. It's zero cost to you, and then that will be a digital book that you can download and print off, or just have on your computer. So kind of a handy little
Great.
option there. Yeah. And so, how did that design turn out there, Carrie?
And I stopped it there while you were talking, just so that you
Oh,
didn't. But it's about halfway done.
okay, wonderful. Love it.
Smoothly, so evenly. We're about halfway through. We have says that we have 2 minutes left. But then again, who's counting? Almost done.
Excellent.
To go.
And then I was going to show everyone this was the first Serger Pillow project that you did, and you used yet another circle embroidery design to quilt that. So she's having all kinds of fun with these Serger Pillow projects.
It's a great way of being able to do something wonderful and quick to decorate your home for the holidays or for the seasons. And it's something that you can do for the if you're getting ready to have your outdoor fun for the summer, you can do them. You could change them up very quickly and easily because to do this project for the large pillow that this one is turning out, it took less than 2 yards of fabric total. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to be something where you're going to be investing lots and lots of money in fancy fabrics that are going to be something where you're going to say, "Ooh, I have to be very careful because it might be a $20 mistake somewhere along the line." So,
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's awesome.
sometimes we do heirloom projects, sometimes we do quilt show projects, and sometimes we just do fun projects.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this is an easy, quick, fun project. I don't personally have a serger at home, but I think I want to get one.
You do more than just prep your quilt for putting binding on them. And I do recommend that if you are doing binding, that you serge the edges of your quilt because that's a great way of making your bindings go on just that fast.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Well, we're so excited to see this end result. And as we stated earlier, we have the opportunity of being able to have you potentially do one more pillow, one more where you're going to record it, so we can kind of see the whole process a little clearer because of this darn internet issue. So we're hoping that we can get Carrie to do that for us. And then Carrie, this is beautiful. So you go ahead and see if we can get that up to the screen really good there. I love the hearts on that.
It's a
Oh yeah.
perfect Valentine.
Oh, it's so
So
great. Yeah, that looks great. Let's see the perfect. Oh yeah. I love that. So that's one of the designs in the Circle EmbroideLee collection. And there are so many more fun ones. I know you've had some fun with the edge to edge circle designs that we have in the collection. Obviously, we showed you another fun design earlier that was on the pillow that she did back when we were rolling it out. Oh, look at this one. Yeah, the circle collection is definitely a fun one.
Serger. It's just not a log cabin, it's a rail fence.
Mhm. I love
But
it.
I did the whole thing with the edge to edge. And then I went back with our rulers and filled in a little bit around.
Oh, okay. Isn't that great? And that's one of the things that I think is really making embroidery unique is, sometimes when you're finishing your quilts with embroidery, it's really helpful to be able to have a way to drop a ruler down that really mimics those designs and be able to finish it that way. Because sometimes getting to those small, tight zones with an embroidery hoop can be challenging. So, yeah, being able to throw a ruler down and be able to do that can make it a lot easier.
One of the things that I personally am really excited about is the fact that although I have been embroidering for years and I've been quilting not quite as long as I've been embroidering,
Mhm.
I am now excited about the fact that I am taking my quilting projects from beginning of selecting the fabric, selecting the design, all the way through the creative process. I'm not relying on anyone else to see my vision. It's all coming from what I'm dreaming and what I'm thinking. And so it's 100% coming from my heart. And
Oh,
that's something that I've been longing to be able to do with my
yeah.
quilt.
I love that. I think that that's, really important and it's funny because you talk to a lot of creative people and a lot of times it's one of those things that you're dreaming about in your head at night and you wake up and you're like, "Yes, this is what I want to do."
When you sit down and you talk with, say, a long arm person that you know and you love and you trust, and they don't grasp quite what you see. And it's not that they're not talented and they're not wonderful and they're not great people and they're not very skilled quilters, but it's just not quite what you see in your dream when you wake up in the morning and go, that's what I want. Embroidery gives you the ability with Westerly to give you exactly what you are dreaming about.
Oh, I love that. That's a good way to put it. Well, thank you so much. And yes, there has been some just a video focus because we Carrie is actually kind of in upper Michigan area and they're getting a lot of snow right now. And so she has offered, thank you, Carrie, to do a recording of this. So we're going to be able to get it in focus, pre-recorded, and then we'll be able to share that with everyone. And you'll be able to really see what's going on without squinting, right? Oh, thank you again, Carrie. I love your projects. L-
More for you in the future.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Well, did you want to share anything else today?
Excited about what's coming down the road.
I
I'm getting
know.
some fun classes at the original Sewing and Quilting Expo in Lakeland, Florida, next month. I'm also going to be coming to quilt stores in your area, maybe, to teach some hands-on classes in embroidery. So if some of you are watching this and would be like to have me come and do some actual hands-on classes with you, I'm available to come and spread this joy that I share and feel and want to um, be a part of your exuberance, or if you have a quilt guild that would like to see something a little different than what you've been having. And I would wonderfully be able to be there with all of you in person as well as with video.
Excellent. Well, thank you. We're so excited that you're going to be at So Expo Lakeland and some of the other OSQE shows, and excited to have you on the ground, being able to really show people in person how to use some of these tools and in designs, and really be able to work on their projects. So can't wait for you to be able to get there, and hopefully some of you might be able to join Carrie there. But Carrie, we look forward to all of your amazing education. So thank you so much for sharing today. And we'll hopefully have something out to everybody that you'll be able to really appreciate this amazing project. And maybe we can even write out some of like the sizes and stuff that you use for your cutting, because we could give them a little handout for it too. So excellent. Thank you. I think that there are some people that are super excited about being able to do this on their serger. So we are excited to get this class out to them. All right. Well, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We'll look forward to having you join us again this afternoon with Kathy Clausen at 4 p.m. And then tomorrow we've got some more fun coming your way with Kathy at 6 a.m. And then we've got Kate Quinn coming your way at 1 p.m. So join us every day. We're here. We've got amazing education on our YouTube playlists, as well as our Facebook Live. So you can check out our events page to see what's coming up, and you can get reminders there, guys. So and don't forget to get your digital download lookbook if you'd like to get a better look at all those amazing designs in that circle collection. So, all right, Carrie, thank you again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be sharing your video soon. Thanks, everyone.